Bonjour, I am Sandrine, the founder and leader of the Golden Age Spiritual Ministry. Together, we learn about the embodiment of our multidimensionality so we can reclaim our full sovereignty in this beautiful reality. My High Council and I are happy to welcome you into our movement of spiritual revolution. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new transmissions. Thank you for liking, commenting below and sharing this video. Show us your love. Hello my beautiful angels, I'm so happy to be here with you. I am back from the wilderness. I went to these wild festivals in the South Island of New Zealand and it was absolutely amazing. And I want to share with you because so many codes came through that are going to really be beneficial around perspective, placing ourselves in situations that are very different from our everyday life, and also in situations that might be quite different from what we anticipated at times. And therefore, it forces us to adapt, to receive the codes, and to really embody so much more of our presence and stillness and, high level of consciousness. So it was absolutely amazing because I went there with some of my best friends that I have known for a long time. Most of them are men, actually. So I spent 5 days in the South Island. 3 nights were in this festival. And that festival was really in the middle of this beautiful place with no cell phone reception, just a river and the mountains and nature, some of the most beautiful places in New Zealand. I had never been there. Oh my God, I fell in love, of course, with Gaia. Isn't Gaia absolutely beautiful? And as I was there, I realized, oh my God, I'm mostly surrounded by men. Like most of my friends and like the extended community that I have around me, it's men. Just like a few women here, but I didn't really know them that well. They were not like my besties, you know what I mean? So I loved it. But it was also quite confronting because I placed my human in that situation knowing that, well, the living condition will be more rough than what I'm used to. I haven't been camping in a long time. I don't really like to share outside facilities, bathroom, toilets, and so on. And no cell phone reception. Oh my God, how am I going to do, without my phone? And like, how can I do with my mission? I had never been offline. I was really, oh my God, like, let's go. It's going to be great for my human. My mates are going. Let's experience something different. And also this festival is going to be lots of music and dancing and workshop and the river. It's going to be great, great time to switch off and recalibrate. Well, not only was it basic, but it was extremely rough. So when I arrived there, I started looking around and I had booked a tent, a glamping tent, because I have no more equipment. And I was flying. I was like, no way, I'm going to buy a tent and all of the things to make my stay relatively comfortable. It's not really possible. So they offered a glamping option. I was really excited. They described the glamping option as you have this beautiful big 2 people stand, you're gonna have carpets, solar panels, indoor lighting, gonna have outdoor area, gonna have like a shared VIP lounge with all of the bean bags. And I was like, sweet, it's me. And my beautiful human, before I sent an email and I asked, how do we also have like access to the VIP showers? Because I thought like maybe instead of sharing a shower with the entire festival, we shared a shower with like, I don't know, like 2010, something like that. They never replied. I sent 3 emails for different subjects. They never replied. I was like, this is interesting. Well, you guess what? There was no showers. Zero. Nothing. There was absolutely fucking no showers. And I look around and I see a block of toilet and I'm like, but tell me I have to use that for 3 days. Deep breath, deep breath. It's like, where are the showers? And me and my mates, we look around. It's like, looks like there's no showers. Indeed, there was no fucking showers. And when we talk to people around, it's like there is the river. We cannot use shampoo nor soap in the river. So basically, you just bath in the river, hoping that your hair are somehow going to get washed by the current of the river. The river, freezing. My tent, as I arrived there, is by the river, beautiful view, but it's also not as big as I had anticipated for two people. It's like quite cramped in there. And also, it's amongst a whole lot of other tents and really packed together. There's not much space between the tents, but that's okay because I have river view. It's beautiful. Where there are sandflies in the South Island. If you don't know what sandflies are, you live in paradise. This is a nightmare. It's like tiny flies like this, and it was a swarm of them, and they bite you. My legs are still covered with bites. It's very different from mosquitoes. Swarms of them. As soon as you were outside, we were trying to have like a picnic, a hang on with mates, and put insect repellent, even repellent specially made for sandflies. Nothing really worked. So all of a sudden, my idyllic festival relaxing, that's a little bit rough, but my human's gonna do it, turned into this like, oh my God, this is so intense, this is so brutal. I'm there now, I need to adapt. So I did. I did adapt it. I was in an environment that was radically different from anything I have experienced before. It was very obvious to me from the start that it was very Andromedan coded. Because like when I talk to people, I don't really see I don't really ask about the human design or astrology or things like that much. I see people's mapping. I see like more galactic ancient civilization hybrid blueprints kind of vibe, right? I also see dragon codes, unicorn codes, and things like that. So it's like, wow, just like the level of Andromedan frequency here is next level. Andromedan also, I joke about them being the good looking ones of the galaxy. It's like when you have an Andromedan being, like in the quantum field, who comes into the world, like, wow, just like so, they make so much effort to customize their character. My youngest daughter says that when she changed her hair color, she's got new piercing and stuff. She's like, I'm customizing my characters. Like, I love that. I'm going to use that. So the Andromedans, they love that, and it was community based, very connected to Gaia, a very primal in their spiritual experience of life in physicality, connection to nature, the environment, relaxation, peace, in community a lot, architecture, advanced consciousness. So now here I'm speaking about like the big lines, right? But Andromedans, I always saw that the big ravers as well, and it was like non-stop. So I thought that the music would stop around 1, 2 a.m. because that's kind of normal according to this human. But no, for 3 days, the music never stopped and it echoed through the valley. Boom, boom, boom. So I like it, but after a while, I'm just kind of like, God, this is wild. This is so wild. This beautiful community of people, they were really used to it. A lot of them were just vibing, and it was me and my friends was like, great, we're gonna have a great time. Let's rock and roll. Let's just do it. And so I did. I kind of adapted really easily. There was a ton of psychedelics, which is also very Andromedan coded, like a lot of mushrooms, like psychedelic experience. A lot of people also like taking acids or like other substances. I stay away from drugs. I love exploring consciousness with mushrooms. That's very different. And lots of like smoking and stuff like that. But it's like the plant medicine realm in a way. There's also like the workshop where there was a lot of workshop around healthy use of plant medicine, like plant medicine versus synthetic product, like yoga, tantra, all of that, like in the realm of consciousness. So I could really feel that the frequency was really a good one. It was just like extreme. It was intense with the element and the people and so on. And of course, all sorts of things happened. And I've been in the exploration of connection with someone, with a man, for a little bit. And he was also present. And it was really interesting because, we were together sharing a tent. And I was like, I'm not sure how it's going to go. It's a new connection. So on, it's quite a big age difference. As I like younger people. And so on. So I was like, okay, let's stay open. So basically, I put my human in a situation where I had very little understanding of the architecture, what's going on, what I'm supposed to do, not to do, how to handle things. But I had enough training as a human to prepare for it. So I had prepared electrolytes, I had creams, I had band-aids, I had like cooking things that I could carry with me on the plane. I had, I had taken a big blanket with me. This one, actually, I washed it and nice and fluffy. I had taken a beanie. I had taken like all sorts of like really cool clothes and stuff. So I was kind of like feeling prepared a little bit, but that was another level. And you know me by now. And if you don't know me, welcome, by the way. We have so many new community members in our community. I'm so happy to see you. I'm Sandrine. I was like, I just came back from being offline in placing my human in that circumstance willingly. And you are going to quickly, start realizing that everything I do, I always observe. I always contemplate. It's not so much being anal about knowing and understanding everything. It's more like, ooh, how interesting. Observing consciousness, observing multidimensionality embodied, observing different perspective on reality, being inspired by it, using that to return more energy to myself, to know myself more, to be more of service. So I thought, this is a great experience. I don't know exactly how that's going to solve my mission or me. It doesn't really matter because everything is interwoven anyway. I don't need to know, but I feel it's going to be really profound. So instead of feeling like, oh my God, there are no showers, I did. It was like, oh my God, there are no showers. I took a breath, let it go. Oh my God, I'm eaten alive by sandflies. Took a breath, adapted. Adapted to the music going nonstop. Adapted to the vibe that was like, it's very hippie, like so hippie. You can see like it's generation of hippies like embedded in them. It's like beautiful, customized character, the clothing, the tattoos, the artifacts, the everything, the hair, they look magnificent. So my human centering was like, wow, how interesting, how curious, how different. And I'm with this person that I met not such a long time ago. I'm not sure how we're gonna handle our relation, kind of like interacting in distance. There's my mates, there's his mates, there's other mates around. Let's see. Many things happen. And as I was really hanging out more with my longtime friends, two French guys called Yann and Mathieu, they might be watching this. Not that they watch much, but we never know. I started being softened by the experience in a way that it was so brutal, so extreme, so different that I could not hold on to anything, be annoyed, be exhausted, be overwhelmed. I just had to drop into stillness and observation and be fully present with the moment. It was like, oh God, exciting. It's like a different playground. It's different from what I anticipated, but it's still nature. It's beautiful, great place. I still receive so much. I'm connected. I'm dancing a lot. Had some mushrooms. Amazing, amazing. And then there was a few moments on the second day where I felt really like crystallized in being annoyed by certain things that were happening or not happening, by this person I was interacting with and sharing a tent with him disappearing, not being around at all, and keep losing each other. I was having like, my human was just like trying to be a bit nitpicky or trying to find something that was, there was like some dysregulation there. And I opened vulnerably to my two best mates. Their answer were not at all what my human would have liked. I might have preferred to have girlfriends, to have this sisterhood, because it's very different when you open up to someone who's really coded as male or as female, and it doesn't happen the gender we're born with. It's like when you talk a lot with soul sisters, soul brothers, it's very different. Soul sisters, they get to nurture relationship, they understand that time, they can be like, I know, it's like all feeling based, it's like, well, we together, we get excited together and so on. With my mates, not like that. I took emotions, they took structure. Sandrine, this and that, not okay. Instead, this and do, you must do. They don't understand me. Their emotional intelligence is zero. I love my friends, but I hate them right now. I'm not receiving what I need. And I was left there with nothing left but myself. And very quickly, I realized this is a wonderful opportunity to lead myself through this. And how do I want to lead myself through this experience? What choices do I have here? I have the choice to chew on the tired. This person is not there to hug me and make me feel good and sexy and warm right now. And I'm cold. I want this person to come and, go to bed with me and snuggle up to try to stay warm because at night I was pretty freezing. I was chewing on these things. I thought I have a choice to continue doing that, or I have a choice to completely let go of that, focus on me, and actually open up to the perspective of my friends because they are men. They are my friends. They know me really well. They've known me for 12 years. Even though they are not part of this consciousness wave the way I am, they still are very conscious, high quality people. And then it hit me. I realized this is a wonderful opportunity to completely allow my perspective to change, to lead myself in a way that I choose to change perspective willingly. I choose not to hold on to certain righteousness, to certain, I wanted a shower, I wanted solar panel, I wanted a carpet. None of that was in my tent. By the way, no solar panel, no electricity, no lamp, no lightning, no carpet. Thank God I had thought about taking like little mushrooms fairy lamp because I thought it was a good vibe. It was a good vibe for the psychedelic experience. But I chose to lead myself. In those moments, I decided, Sandrine, you're going to be a fucking bitch to yourself and other people and ruin it all, or you're going to alchemize this, transmute this, and metabolize this by dancing, by going to get some cookies over there, by having another awesome, like walk along the river, swim in the river. You're going to metabolize this. You're going to metabolize this, shift your perspective. And as I led myself into shifting perspective, everything started to change because perspective creates leadership. We start seeing ourselves clearly. I started seeing myself as I had an opportunity to go into the fragmentation. If you're inside one, this will resonate so much more. Into the fragmentation of the low horizontal plane. It was very tempting. I was exhausted, I was dysregulated, I could not take a shower nor a hot bath. I could not even be in silence because the boom, 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 boom was going non-stop. I didn't have any girlfriends to cry with, to feel sorry for myself with. I didn't want to have like a deep conversation with the person I'm relating with right now because that's not where we are at. It's not at a festival when he's taken psychedelics and I have taken like nothing that night, like a bit of psychedelics. So I started seeing myself differently. I observed that my Sandrine still had this connection with feeling that she doesn't have anyone to attach to safely. And that's the theme of my life. I've never known secure attachment. I never received that from my parents. My parents are lovely. They did everything they could. I received so much from them. They're next level. But I never had the capacity to safely attach to them because it was not there. They could not offer that to me. And I haven't experienced that in my life. So when my Sandrine gets really tired, she cannot take a bath, she cannot be in silence, then my Sandrine becomes dysregulated. When my Sandrine becomes dysregulated, she wants someone to hug, to pat her hair, to look after her, to make sure that she feels loved and protected and looked after. But it was the person I thought could give me a little bit of that was not available either. So I realized I have a choice to resent that person, to resent the dynamic, to even be really annoyed with my male friends who not only told me, Sandrine, leave this guy alone. He's having his experience. You are with us. Look after yourself. That's literally what they told me. They told me not to be upset, to get my shit together, to regulate emotionally, when all I wanted to do was a swamp of dysregulation. They helped me hold myself, but I had to really lead myself into perceiving, into accepting, to open up when I was dysregulated to another perspective. And then it happened as I led myself, I saw myself differently. I could make a conscious choice. So what I did, I took my human to bed, I wrapped myself in blanket. I had a good cry. I needed to have a good cry as a regulation process. During that good cry, I felt sorry for myself. I felt, what the fuck am I doing here? I've had enough of this. Tomorrow I'm packing everything, I'm leaving the festival early. I had to feel that for a moment, but I knew that it was a self leadership process of holding my human through the experience so I could metabolize it. The day after, I woke up, I was on fire. I was alone in the tent. That guy I'm relating with was nowhere to be found. I went to get myself a coffee, and who did I find? On the dance floor, still dancing. We did an all-nighter, one of my best mates. And I saw him, it was sunrise, and we had this amazing experience, and we danced together until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, eating food, dancing, having coffee, dancing, eating again, dancing, having coffee, dancing. I had this amazing portal with him, just the two of us, which would have never happened otherwise. I had one of my best mates for myself, like dancing, like he was bare feet. I had my big shoes because it's cold. And then the sun came and I changed 3 times and then so on. And then after that, this person I'm relating with, like he came back and we had the best time together. And actually, I followed the advice of my mates who told me, you need to apologize to him, not the other way around. I was like, you're twisting things around. They were right. When I had recalibrated, when I slept, I was like, oh, I think they were really right. I changed perspective. I chose differently. And with that guy that I'm relating with, I'm experiencing with, became close again, super close again. And we had a great time for the rest of the festival. There was no need there to have a conversation. I led myself into feeling this is not the space, this is not the time, this is not the dynamic with this person either to have this kind of conversation at this stage of this exploration of relationship, right? So I'm sharing this adventure with you because first of all, I thought that it would be highly entertaining. So I adapt. I love the wilderness. I can go really hard. I can go really brutal for some pocket of time. But oh my God, like returning to civilization, to absolute sobriety, to no one around, no music, no man, no kids, even no girlfriends. It's like, oh, just, channeling for one today, yesterday, the Dragon Quest this morning, the Portal event tomorrow. It's like, oh, I've missed it so bad. And I was just gone for 5 days, So the change of perspective is really the theme of the conversation. But to change perspective, we must be able to lead ourselves, because if we don't know how to lead ourselves, changing perspective can trigger even more fragmentation, oscillation, trauma looping, depletion of energy. It's an art. It's an art that we develop. And as we learn to lead ourselves this way, this is how we lead ourselves into rising into greatness. And rising into greatness is rising into stabilizing into feeling joy, feeling peace beyond all understanding, feeling ecstatic when there's no reason to feel ecstatic, just having breakfast, having a walk in the park. Being able to lead ourselves give us the capacity to lead other people. Because if we don't know how to lead ourselves, there's a mismatch of frequency to start with. We're a bit of a fraud in a way. It's a sort of a fraud. And we can see what's happening out there. Do the puppet leaders we see out there lead themselves? Fuck no. Yeah, they lead themselves in downward spiral, that's for sure. Do they lead themselves into ascension, organic ascension? No way. So they might be leading the world, but what they create is more damage, more damage. It's horrendous. So a lot of us, we don't get this. But here it is. A lot of us, a lot of you out there, you have fears around leadership because you see what's happening out there and you don't want to be like that. You want to be a dick. You don't want to abuse people. You don't want to take their money and pretend. You don't want to use their data. You don't want to manipulate them. You don't want that because you have integrity. But there is a confusion that happens. Like you'll never be like that if you embody the codes of leadership of the self to start with, if you lead from the heart, if you understand the organic ascension templating and the rise of light leadership. No, you'll never be like that, but don't allow yourself to block your ascension process, to block your leadership expansion because you don't know how to handle it. Let me help you. Let me help you with that. It's one of the fascinating subject of evolution of consciousness and multidimensional embodiment that I love sharing about. And with me, everything is out there in the open. You might have realized by me sharing my story now, if you didn't know me before, there are things that I don't share because I don't need to share my entire life on social media, but I do not hide things in shame. I don't think that me hiding the fact that I love a good rave party when I take psychedelics and smoke weed and have a beer at time is the opposite of being a spiritual teacher. I'm here to weave embodied integration of a multidimensional humanity, of being so human and that we are divine, because we are advanced spiritual masters having a spiritual experience. We are not lost little weakling humans trapped in the loop of karma trying to be spiritual. The opposite. I have absolutely faith in you, in my community, in the fact that the way that I share is going to resonate with you because it also gives you permission to be freaking human, to eat meat, have a glass of wine, some weed at times if you want, go have a wild party, experience your sexuality the way you want. You do you, boo. I don't have to tell you what to do. Is this compatible with being spiritual? Of course, you're a spiritual being to start with. Everything is spiritual. Nothing is mundane. Everything is spiritual. Our everyday life is our spiritual life. When we change perspective, that's a huge change of perspective I'm offering you here through this share. So if you're still watching, thank you. Because people have become so judgmental, so obsessed with, you must be like this. Otherwise, then when a spiritual teacher, a spiritual mentor shows their humanity, it's like, let's burn them at the stake. Let's, demolish them. Oh my God, that person. But if we show our humanity to start with, which is what I do all the time, yeah, I'm not perfect. Thank God I'm not perfect because you would not be attracted to my teaching if I was. So I changed my perspective around that because to start with, I try to completely switch off that aspect of myself. I was celibate. I did not party. I did not drink. I did not smoke. I did not hook up with guys, not even dates, nothing for an entire year that extended to a year and a half. After that, started going out a little bit, dating here and there, reopening, but it stayed very sporadic. I've indulged a lot more in the last year. But again, it's like back to sporadic. It's the elevation of consciousness that I'm about, is the embodiment of life. It's the weaving of a multidimensionality through a multifaceted personality. To go out, dance all night long, have a beer. I'm from Belgium, love it. Have a beer and a smoke. Oh, I feel so alive. I feel like so connected. I'm tense and I dance. Honestly, I dance all night long. I dance all night long. I just love it. My body feels exhausted afterward. I completely switch off for the weekend. I don't do that every weekend, of course. Every now and then. Oh, the integration of multidimensionality is what we need. But for that, we need to change perspective. To change perspective, we need to understand self leadership. How can I lead myself to be the greatest expression of myself if I try to hide away aspects of myself? Am I ashamed of myself? Am I ashamed of the fact that I love a good rave? I'm ashamed of the fact that I mostly do not enjoy hanging out with people during the week. People can find it extreme. Maybe yeah, I do not actually see humans during the week much, except if I have my kids. I don't like it. I don't want to. I'm already busy facilitating, doing things. Am I ashamed of any aspect of myself? Because at times I have had cheese, so I'm not a real vegan. I wear leather. I'm not a real vegan. I'm ashamed of that. I used to. What good does it do? Nothing. I changed perspective by leading myself through this path. This is why I'm sharing this with you. This is also why you absolutely must join this 5-day activation that's coming soon on the 16th of March. We're starting. The courage to lead the dragon way. It will give you all of these codes of like emotional stability. You can really hold yourself no matter what happens. You don't bypass. You're stable emotionally. It's going to be a codex also around making decisions that are more intuition based. So it's like intuitive decision making. When you really feel into your heart, it's what makes my soul the most excited. We're also going to talk about embodied presence because when we understand leadership, when we rise into our leadership, tremendously increase our magnetism. And this magnetism becomes this embodied presence. When you walk in a room, when you go somewhere, people start noticing you more. How do you handle that? Who are you being in those moments? And also online, of course, because now we live in a digital world. So it's like this embodied presence of increasing your magnetism, your charisma, and leading yourself through that so you can lead others with integrity, great humility, but also power. During these 5 days, we're going to talk a lot about courage and bravery because we need good doses of that right now. Absolutely. We need bravery and courage embodied, embedded everywhere within us and around us. And we're also going to really talk about the way that leadership progresses from the self to the masses, to humanity, to the ascension process. So, wherever you are at in your journey, if you are here to just lead yourself, if you are here to lead yourself and your family, to lead yourself and a small group of people, or to lead yourself and 50 million people, this is for you. Is the evolution of leadership codes, is the expansion of the architecture of leadership so you can grow in your power, experience more of your multidimensionality. Because here is another thing. I'm not going to talk about it today. It's too large, but I'll talk about it inside this 5-day activation, the courage to lead the dragon way. A lot of you here, you want to know about your past life in ancient civilization and galactic connections. How, as multidimensional being. Great. You wonder why you cannot do it yet. Where's the resistance? Resistance also comes because if you don't have strongly embodied self-leadership codes, you're not going to be able to connect to these other versions of you without being fragmented. I have seen that repetitively because people do these things, they don't understand this, and they don't have mentors who are actually trained in this, who understand this, who can handle this. So it means like, what kind of fragmentation happened? We go into a past lives, we were burnt as a witch, fragmentation, identification with that. And that becomes the signal. I was burned at the stake. I cannot speak my truth. I'm too afraid because I was burnt as a witch. My gifts are gone because I was burnt as a witch. I need to be very afraid of people because I was burnt as a witch. So crystallization of identity. There's no self-leadership in that. This fragmentation of consciousness. Dude, you're not that babe anymore. You are human now. You're very different. Look, you're not the witch anymore. You have another name. You have another like. So there is still, of course, this is what I do. I weave this. And I said, and why am I talking like this about the witch? Because that was me. That was literally me for years. I was a witch. Until eventually, I got trained. I got trained. And I say, yes, I accept. I received this training, and then. So now, when I revisit like lives in extreme intensity, far, far away in my multidimensional networks, or like very glamorous lives here, I know how to reel back in the energy, to return the energy back to me without being fragmented, because I lead myself, and therefore I can lead others by creating a system for multidimensional exploration, which is what I do. I just don't create a spiritual experience. I teach you how to do it, how to repeat it. I hand you the keys of sovereignty. I hand you the keys of leadership. I hand you the keys of ascension. I hand you the keys of channeling. This is when working with me is completely life-changing and different, to be honest. So I would love to invite you to join the 5-day activation, The Courage to Lead the Dragon Way. And when you do, activate leadership codes already by inviting 2 friends, 2 family members, 2 students, 2 clients that you have. Invite 2 of them, because that's leadership embodied. Leadership is calling people to rise with you. If they answer yes, great, you do it together. If they answer no, great, they're going to rise in their own way, in their own time. Ask your partner, ask your friend, ask your mom. I've had mom and daughters in my programs before. I love it. I always have like a sweet spot, because that was me and mom, some things. So I would love to invite you, if you are part of this group, if you have already joined, invite 2 people. I'm calling 500 people for this challenge. I'm calling 500 people because I want to create a force field. We need leaders to rise into this world. This is happening now. It's not happening tomorrow. Okay, it's happening now. So you are needed. You are needed and you are ready. So I cannot wait to see you inside that 5-day activation, The Courage to Lead the Dragon Way. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for catching this on the replay. Let me know your thoughts and everything here below. I'm so happy to be back. I don't think I will recreate the wilderness experience anytime soon, or probably ever better, but oh my goodness, every new perspective, every new experience, as wild and crazy, as weird, as awkward, as unwanted as it is always there for us. As we shifted this perspective, it's happening for me, not to me. We are already rising in self-leadership. Okay? Okay, take care. See you next time.